Coming up, how you can sign up for a COVID vaccine as appointments open up for the general public.
The surprising amount of veterans and prison staff refusing the vaccine.
Plus, a local man arrested for his supposed role in the Capitol riots. Valley News Live at 10 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 10.
Starting on March 29th, any North Dakotan who wishes to be vaccinated may receive a COVID-19 vaccine.
Vaccinations for the coronavirus will be available to all North Dakotans beginning March 29th and in some cases even sooner.
State leaders say the main reason is that the current tier system is confusing.
It's just a confusing message when you're picking and choosing essential workers and underlying conditions, and so it really streamlines the message and then makes sure we're vaccinating as many people as possible, as quickly as possible, to try and get ahead of these variants spreading.
This is important. Even if you have COVID, you should still get the vaccine. Especially if you're one of the long haulers, one of the people that have persistent symptoms. Many people, it turns out, are getting relief from their symptoms just from getting the vaccine. We have no idea why that is yet.
State health leaders went on to say that they're hearing about many people being North Dakota nice and feeling as though other people deserve to be vaccinated before them. They encourage against that.
They also say many North Dakotans don't realize that they're essential workers or that they have pre-existing health conditions. Vaccine allocations are expected to increase throughout the next few weeks. Next week, the state is expecting to receive more than 18,000 doses of the vaccine.
So if you're looking to schedule an appointment, where do you start? Valley
News Team's Aaron Walling has the answers for us tonight, and he joins us live from Thrifty White in Fargo. Aaron?
Thanks, Mike. I'm outside Thrifty White, where they said that very soon you'll be able to see openings on their website for the general public. Now, Thrifty White is asking those to continue to check on their website and as it updates to phase 2. Now, as for pharmacies, CVS has not been told by corporate when they are changing over to phase 2. Right now, they're continuing to vaccinate essential workers and people at high risk for severe COVID-19. Essentia is saying that they'll soon be ready to open to the general public and could be open to taking appointments as soon as next week. Sanford tells us they are still working out the details of phase 2, but they are excited to expand. Fargo Cass Public Health hasn't gotten back to us, and up in Grand Forks, all true representatives tell us we can expect information regarding phase 2 next week. Now, out in western North Dakota, the general public can begin receiving the vaccine on Tuesday, and they are asking everyone to make appointments as soon as possible. Now, a reminder, the Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines are only approved for those that are 18 and up, and Pfizer, that's for 16 and up. Keep that in mind when you're making appointments for yourself or your teens. Live from South Fargo, Aaron Walling, Valley News Live.
All right, thanks, Aaron. At this point, 16% of North Dakotans are fully vaccinated. 1 in 4 residents have received at least 1 dose of the vaccine. For more information on where to get yours, you can check out the VNL Vaccine Tracker right on our website and app. You can also simply scan the QR code on your screen.
After one of the worst COVID-19 outbreaks in a U.S. prison, there's growing concern many Minnesota corrections officers won't be vaccinated. A recent statewide survey found that only half of them want the shot. And according to prison officials, there are fears what that resistance could mean for the future. Reporter Liz Collins explains why.
It's been a really difficult time for us as an agency.
At one point in the pandemic, more than 80% of the incarcerated population at Stillwater had tested positive for COVID-19, nearly 70% at Faribault. Just this week, another inmate died at that facility, bringing the inmate death toll statewide to 12.
Died in his sleep, but we know that he was COVID positive.
WCCO obtained the results of an air quality report in December showing dust buildup on air ducts and water leaks at Stillwater, where all but one surface swab received a fail or caution rating. It's believed infection rates in prisons are 3 times as high as in the general public.
There's really a heavy mix among staff.
And why the recent results of a survey showing half of prison staff would take the COVID vaccine is raising alarm. Still, Commissioner Paul Schnell says a large number of people have yet to respond.
But even so far, Commissioner, hearing the results of that survey, does that concern you?
we're certainly concerned. We really want people to take the vaccine.
While full-scale vaccinations to all staff have yet to be offered, Schnell says just like in the community, there is some distrust and worry about possible long-term impacts. The DOC launched the Who's With Me campaign with the hope these posters throughout the facilities will help build support. In a statement, the union representing Minnesota corrections officers told WCCO that, quote, as a union, we will continue to work with our members and health officials to provide accurate and factual information and encourage all workers to receive their vaccine when offered one.
The union representing Minnesota correction officers also said in their statement that they will continue to partner and support events to safely schedule workers to receive their vaccine.
More military members may be opting out of COVID vaccinations than what's been publicly disclosed. The military said that 1 in 3 service members do not plan on getting the vaccine, but uniformed medical officials and data from several bases suggest the rejection rate may be closer to 50%. The difference could potentially be more than big enough to affect force readiness. Defense officials are privately pushing back against the higher number, saying there's no way to confirm it. The military cannot make the vaccine mandatory at this point.
Family members of Destiny Avery tell us that 2 more defendants in her murder case have signed plea bargains. 27-year-old Andrea Payne is accused of being there when she was murdered and helping to cover it up. 34-year-old Brandon Erbstoser says that he is accused of making sure blood was cleaned up at the crime scene and covering up the evidence.
I feel like they have way more involvement than what they're saying, and they're taking the easy way out, which is what they've done all along. But you guys should have thought about that before what you guys did, what you did. You guys should have thought about that before you covered up what you covered up. Acting like you guys care about Destiny, and you guys didn't. You guys did nothing to help Destiny.
The plea deals allow for each to serve less than 5 years of jail time, some probation, and various fines. They must testify if one of their other co-defendants takes the case to trial, which Ethan Broad, who is charged with Destiny's murder, has opted for.
If you need help uncovering fraud or corruption in your community, call our whistleblower hotline, 237-6576. You can call and leave your tip.
A Moorhead man, 31-year-old Jordan Stotts, has been arrested by the FBI in connection with the riots at the U.S. Capitol building on January 6th. He was caught on camera inside the Capitol and faces multiple charges. Authorities say he was reported to the FBI by someone who pointed them to his Facebook page, where he posted, "We were peaceful, but the police were not. They got us out, but it's far from over." He posted several other times about being at the Capitol. You can read much more on our website, valleynewslive.com. A $2 billion funding package could amp up security at the Capitol. Congressional leaders are discussing the deal to make the grounds safer and shore up vulnerabilities exposed by the January 6th attack. That's all according to sources familiar with the talks. Details include a permanent fence around the Capitol, hundreds of new security personnel, which would be either the National Guard or a military police presence. It would also include new authorities for the District of Columbia's National Guard to be dispatched in emergency situations.
The Washington Post is reporting that the National Guard considered not providing support to police the day of the Capitol riot. The Washington mayor requested support from the D.C. National Guard on December 31st, ahead of the January 6th insurrection. The Post obtained an internal draft memo from the Army suggesting that request should be denied. The memo argued the military should not be required to help police unless more than 100,000 demonstrators were expected.
This is how he got to be 96 years old, because he's helping everybody else.
Still ahead tonight, the unique and inspiring way an area veteran has spent his time during the pandemic.
But first, the bump in the forecast next week may be coming sooner than we thought. Hutch has the latest for us right after the break.